Okay, let me drive the same discussion a bit further into two questions. First question is, you are five or six of the biggest social media networks in Qatar. How driven are you when you see each other's content? So for example, for a wild example, Hamad sees a content that Bilal pushed out. Hamad says, oh no, I have to drive like 3 weeks working non-stop until I provide better content. That's the first question. Does this ever...
I think he's doing that to my content rather than me doing it.
I may have used the wrong example.
I'm not arguing.
And the second question is, going back to the intern discussion, if each of you guys has an intern, and that intern turns out to be a brilliant guy, and he has an idea, but that is the same idea and the same business model that you are working on. I'll try to exempt Zomato from this question because like they're a bit bigger than Qatar. How willing are you to push this intern forward or like hold him back?
I don't think you're going to be successful in holding anyone back and letting them into your house and holding them back. So it depends. If I want to bring people to just do stuff for me and and just rely on their skills, their salaries. Do you give them a salary and you give them a job description? They sign a contract, done. That's not what we're doing in the world of content creation. As I said before, I value the interns more because of their ideas, their reach, and if their ideas are valuable, they will definitely get produced. I'm betting on that. I'm creating my own channel for that. I want these people to come and knock on the door and say, hey, can you please, I have this idea, can we work together on it? I don't think there is any purpose of blocking down or, it's a creative world. There's no such thing as a bad idea, right? But if you have 1 million in one day, you'll get a lot better content out there. So whether it comes from the intern or the boss, it's something that can be put out. There's no point of, dumbing it down and saying, oh, no, I'm not gonna let you do that. You're my employee, you can't do that. No, you should invest in it if it's a good idea and if it's a good format. If it's something that is a format that already exists, that's where the experience would come in and say, all right, we have to tweak it and see how we could benefit from it. But if you can't steal someone else's work and say that it's our original content. But that's another debate about something being an original idea or not. So.
You guys want to go ahead?
Can I ask you to repeat your first question?
The first question was, how devoted are you when you see your competition create content? Do you go out and plan ahead of their content? Do you compete with their content? Or do you just carry on doing what you're doing?
I think carry on doing what I'm doing. But let me just say something. We do have a lot of... So when Sheikh Saif was here, what I wanted to ask him was, we have a problem with access of information in Doha, a huge problem. So a lot of times when something happens, something in Qatar, and you want to get that information from the government, let's say, or somebody official, it takes a long time to get that access. And right now, everything is about getting information instantly. So what happens a lot of times is that we don't have the information, so we don't provide the full story. And I think I will have to say, no doubt, hands down, Doha News does it best. It creates original content, and it's content that you will never find anywhere else. A lot of us do overlap, because a lot of the information we get is from press releases, and then obviously a lot of us take it from there and want to make it our own. But you do a lot of times, and you can never point one out except Doha News. Everybody at some point is doing what everybody else is doing, and that's the major issue with all of us here. Yeah?
Can I ask you a question? What kind of content are you talking about?
Everything from events. We're talking about
but
business.
When you're saying, because you're talking about Sheikh Saif and the government, and then you talk Doha News, and then I'm confused. So which are you talking about a specific? Because you're saying you have no information, right?
When
Is
I'm
it
talking
just
about
government information that you're looking for, or
well,
what kind of?
we are talking about, obviously we're a business magazine. BQ is a business magazine. We cover business, economy, whatnot, you call it, okay? So when you're talking about access to information and we're talking about business and economy, most of the information, where are we going to get this from? Yeah, the government, right? So a lot of it has to do with that because we can't talk about these things if we're not getting the information from them. So my point is a lot of times we're not able to deliver the proper information because of lack of access to information.
To add on to this, I think it's definitely improved in the 8 years I've been in Doha. So in terms of the government processes, but not just government, big companies, the corporations, the channels they use and how efficient their teams are at actually releasing information that media companies can use. It's not perfect, but it's definitely improved year on year since. Just on the point of competition, and competition generally, so not specifically with any type of competition, it's as a business, you have to be aware of competition, right? If you're not, you're foolish. And competition, you can't be changing your strategy on a weekly basis or monthly basis based on what your competition is doing, at least maybe not your core strategy. There's things on the periphery, in the case of, for us, video, that is not core to our business, which is why I delegated to a team. But the core of our business is classifieds. I need to know what every classified business in the country, in the region, and in the world are doing, both to learn from them / copy them, but also to see where the trends are going. Because as I said when I first started, this is the internet age. If you're going to be stuck with a model that, yes, is working for you, but if you're not aware that by next month that model could have changed and it's broken and you're going to be sitting with a website that's dead, it's a real risk and a real danger you need to be aware of as a business.
So I share the same mentality, which is like I am aware of what's going on online, but I do have my own vision. I do know what I want the ILQ network to focus on, and I think in most cases I'm always trying to think of the next thing to do within that same topic before someone else can do it, so that if somebody did copy what I was doing, then I've already moved on. But it doesn't affect me if somebody else is doing what I'm doing. If somebody did something that I was doing and I was like, wow, this is amazing. It might push me further, might push me, to try to do better, but I'm always trying to do the best that I can do anyway. So it doesn't really affect me that much.
Yeah, I guess competition sometimes helps because stories, come on, Instagram came up with stories on Snapchat and then Facebook, everyone has stories now. So I think somehow it's led a channel as well, and competition sometimes helps you open your vision or eyes, some things that you're not looking at. It's not always good to shut down and say that no, they're doing shit and we know what we're doing. So it's helped us in some way in some of our markets that we are in. So yeah.
One thing about competition.
And this is the final comment, and then we have to wrap things up. Yep.
Okay. One thing about competition, if you get comfortable, there is nothing that you can add. As soon as you get comfortable, that's it. You add no value. You got to be on your toes constantly. And if the competition is there, that's what keeps you on your toes. But it doesn't move you from your values and what your main essence is, whether it's content creation or as a person. You are who you are, but as soon as you get comfortable, that's when you stop being relevant. And I think that's the fear. Don't get comfortable and, watch the competition, but just don't get comfortable. Stay on your toes, stay alert, and keep going. I think that's it from me.
All right, so thank you very much to all of our panelists.
Thank you.